Okay. Yesterday we discussed about this. First we discussed about what we mean by imperfect hedge, then how it leads to basis and basis risk, and again, if there is a kind of risk other than price risk, we have to find out the ways through which we can manage that risk even. So, how we could hedge against basis risk. So in this particular class, we'll learn like how you can manage basis risk, which is in addition to your price risk. Okay. So basic purpose or basic motive for entering into a derivative is to hedge against price risk. But if it is something like byproduct, if it is imperfect hedge, and if you other kind of risk, that is basis risk, is there, then you have to find out the ways in which you can hedge that risk even. Okay. So basis risk and hedging, we discussed hedge ratio. Hedge ratio implies that how much of your contract worth has been covered by the imperfect hedge. May it be other asset, may it be other kind of quality, may it be different quantity, may it be different time horizon. Okay, so this ratio would imply that how much has already been covered by your contract, whichever number of contracts you are entering. Then we discussed about the formula, like how you can find out correlating two different assets and finding correlation coefficient and standard deviation of the spot prices and future prices, and by that way you can find out the hedge ratio. So let's try to understand it through a numerical that will that can clear out your doubts. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can I zoom it? I think like this, no? Yes. Hmm. A sugarcane trader is expecting a stock of 200 metric ton from various farmers to be available to him after 3 months. So, what is the commodity? Sugarcane.
Sugarcane.
Yes, and the stock of 200 metric ton, and the horizon is 3 months. Okay, so these are the actual conditions, and these conditions has to be matched with the contract specification through any which is provided through any organized stock exchange. 3 months next April. Okay, in the normal course the prices of sugarcane in the month of April remain at 80 rupees per quintal. Okay, and meaning thereby 800 rupees metric ton. Quintal, that is 100 kg, and metric ton, that is 1000 kg. So One zero will get added in case of metric ton. Okay. So what he is expecting, he is worried about a falling prices. So he is short on. In technical language, what can we say that this trader is short on sugarcane, right? So he is going to sell after 3 months, okay, and he is worried about falling prices. So it is downside risk for him. Futures contract in sugarcane are not available. So what this statement is implying, we discussed 3 to 4 factors which lead to imperfect kind of hedge. So can
मैम
you
वो मैच नहीं हो रहा है मैच्योरिटी से।
no can any this statement, it may be, different maturities, yes, you may be right, but I am talking about this particular statement, which factor this particular statement is implying. Futures contract in sugarcane are not available, so which is this factor?
कमोडिटी में नहीं है मैम।
कमोडिटी मिसमैच ऑफ कमोडिटी मैम।
Commodity, exactly right. So title is not commodity, asset. Okay, mismatch of asset,
हाँ,
that is the
अंडरलाइन
first
एसेट।
factor. Yesterday, हाँ बोलो, बोलो.
कुछ नहीं मैम, अंडरलाइन एसेट बोला था।
Acha, yes. So if you go through those images which we discussed yesterday, you can find the first, very first factor, that is mismatch of assets and quality. Okay. So we are not talking about quality, but yes, the first factor is mismatch of assets. So this statement is implying mismatch of asset if there is difference in asset, yes, it is going to be imperfect hedge and not the perfect one. How could we have been in a perfect hedge if contracts for sugarcane were available, okay, on any organized stock exchange, but you tried to search for that and you didn't find, and that's why it will lead to imperfect hedge. But again, the next problem is, if the for same asset any contract is not available, then for which related kind of asset you can enter into contract and try to hedge your price risk, right? So you have to find out the related asset whose prices may be going in the same direction with maybe somehow same kind of magnitude. So direction and magnitude will matter, and for that reason we have discussed that ratio, that how much correlated the prices are. And again, spot prices and future prices, uh, standard deviation and all those parameters. So in this particular case, you have to find out one asset whose prices are changing in same direction with somehow same magnitude. So high correlation. Okay, this we you have learnt in statistics, that for finding uh, correlation, you will be finding correlation coefficient, right? So you have to find one related asset for which contract is available. You will be taking past price data for both the assets, and you will try to find out correlation coefficient. And if you can find out high level of or number, if number is high, then you can interpret it as highly correlated assets, and you can enter into contract for that particular asset, right? So going further, however, futures in sugar are available. Okay, so this sugar as a commodity you have to find out, like if we try to find out the related product, yes, again the same asset will come in mind, है ना, कि sugar cane and sugar are highly related. So it may happen that prices of these two commodities may be highly correlated. Okay, But yes, you have to collect past data of both the assets, and you have to find out correlation coefficient, and based on that you will decide that these two are highly correlated assets, and for hedging price risk of sugarcane I can enter contract of sugar. Okay, so that is readily available with you, the information is given. So however, futures in sugar are available, and 3-month contracts of 10 metric ton each are selling for 800 rupees per quintal, that is 8,000 per metric ton. Okay, so again matching other specifications, like yes, we understood that uh, same commodity is not available, that is mismatch of asset. Now next, horizon. Okay, quality, there is no logic to compare quality if the asset are completely different. Okay, if you may have found contract available on sugarcane, yes, next step would be to match the quality, right? Like
मैम
contract is available for some quality. हाँ बोलो.
मैम मैम वो
क्वांटिटी
अप्रैल
का भी तो डिफरेंस हुआ ना।
हाँ, एक के बाद एक फैक्टर लेते हैं, पहले असेट देख लिया, अब आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट क्वालिटी. Quality is not parameter over here, but for an example, sugarcane contract were available. So next step, what you have to do, you have to check with the quality. Okay, like which level of qualities contracts are available on futures exchange, and which type of quality I am producing. So is it the same? So that factor also has to be matched. Then you will come go to your time horizon, quantity, and other two parameters, right?
मैम
Saurabh, आप
पहला जो है वो मिसमैच ऑफ क्वालिटी वाला ही है ना?
mismatch
अभी
of
फर्स्ट
asset है. Sugarcane futures contracts are not available, so that is asset, not
हाँ हाँ
quality,
मैम
right? Quality is like same assets contracts are available, but grade or something like the parameter, like for sugarcane you can, which parameter of quality you can, size or something you can, है ना, you can take as a
यस
parameter.
मैम
Okay, so some parameters for qualities will also be there. Like in case of wheat, I told you about the grading and all, right? The type of wheat, grading of wheat and all. Even in sugarcane, grading would be based on all these parameters, like how much it weighs, then what is the size, and all. Based on all these things, there have to be certain grading. So if contract of sugarcane is available, then next step you will be checking with the quality. Like is the quality matching of both, like which asset I am going to sell and for which contracts are available. So is quality matching? So that will be your next parameter. Okay. And that is not the case for our example, because if assets are different, there is no point in comparing quality. Then next, Kajal, you told about time period. Next क्या बताया आपने?
क्वांटिटी मैम, ये
Quantity.
200 mT और ये 10 mT है।
हाँ. So will it lead to lesser than or more than the available quantity? If see 10 metric ton, if it is the size of one contract, so if you enter into 20 contracts, you can match with the same quantity which you require, isn't
यस
it?
यहाँ
यस
तो मैम वो
मैम।
10 के मल्टीप्लाई में है तो हम वो
है,
हाँ,
yes,
तो
क्वांटिटी
वो हो
exactly
सकता
right,
है।
exactly right. So if it is into multiples of your contract size,
20।
okay, so it is not mismatch. So again, next parameter, if you check with quantity, what you find, is it mismatch or is it perfect?
इट इज परफेक्ट
परफेक्ट
मैम
मैम।
Perfect, perfect. Yes, the quantity could match with your requirement. Now next is time
मैम
horizon.
मैम मैम कैसे मैम वो समझ में नहीं आया क्वांटिटी का कैसे मिसमैच नहीं है यहाँ पे
मल्टीपल्स
तो
में लेंगे तो हो जाएगा 20 के।
Like 200 divided by 10. If you do 200 divided
20
by,
आएगा
yes, so exact 20 number of contracts you can go for. For
अच्छा
an
ऐसा,
example,
ओके.
yes, for an example, it had been 182 rupees or something, 182 metric ton or something. So it had like 182 divided by 10, you will have answer 18.2. So either you have to enter 18 contracts or 19 contracts. You cannot go for 18.2 contracts. So that could have been a mismatch of quantity. Like in that example, barrels, crude oil wala example. है ना? One
हाँ मैम उसमें
thousand
ओवर
seventy five. Yes.
1100
हाँ
वाला।
है।
Yes, so either through number of contracts you can cover 1,000 barrels exposure or 1,100 barrels exposure. You cannot cover 1,075 exactly. So that was mismatch of quantity. Understood?
यस मैम.
Okay. Now next is time horizon. Here, like after 3 months, he is trying to say, and 3 month contracts are available. Date is not given. If date, yes, if date were given, even you can compare those dates. Like for 10 days or something, is it underaged or is it overaged due to date mismatch? But here dates are not given, only months are given. So your requirement is after 3 months and 3 month contract are available. So only one parameter, that is mismatch of asset, is there. And so it is not that complex to hedge for that particular risk, right? And you can enter into some other kind of asset to hedge your price risk. So in this case, you will be faced with two kind of risk: price risk and basis risk. Basis risk due to mismatch of asset. Okay. So the question is, how can the trader hedge his position using futures contracts in sugar, assuming the prices of sugar and sugarcane are perfectly and positively correlated? Means what is the assumption? Perfectly correlated in the sense your correlation coefficient will be 1, will be equal to 1, and positively it has to be positively related, like the prices should go in same direction. So this implies that yes, sugar contracts could be used to hedge price risk of sugarcane. Okay, now let's go for the calculations. So the concept is cross hedge. Okay. So what we mean by cross hedge, that in a scenario in which contract of the asset or commodity in which you are dealing is not available, then you will be searching for a commodity whose prices are highly correlated with, positively and highly correlated with the commodities, uh, the commodity whose exposure is there, and by entering into contract of that other commodity, say suppose commodity B, you can hedge your price risk. So that is called cross hedge. Okay.
मैम एक बार क्रॉस इज शॉर्ट में बताओ ना.
Means you are faced with the scenario in which contract for the asset with for which you are long or short is not available, and you are finding the asset with whom the prices are highly correlated. Okay, so that I explained you that for commodity A and commodity B, first you are required to collect data regarding prices, then you have to find out correlation coefficient, and if correlation coefficient is very high, so you can target commodity B for commodity A's price risk management. Okay.
मतलब मैम एक असेट के एक कमोडिटी के लिए अगर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट अवेलेबल नहीं है तो दूसरे पे हम स्विच करते हैं तो उसको क्रॉस हेज बोलते हैं.
Yes. Yes, exactly right. So that I
ओके मैम.
explained. Na, there is a commodity A for which contracts are not available, and you found another commodity B. Okay, whose prices are, but this is the condition that prices has to be highly correlated. Then and then only you can hedge your price risk, na, by entering into contract of commodity B.
तो मैम
मैम
अगर यहाँ पे नेगेटिवली रिलेटेड लिखा होता तो हम उसको कैसे कंसीडर करते?
तो नहीं कर सकते आप हेज।
अच्छा।
Okay, or
मैम
may it be like if you are expecting fall in prices, okay, and fall in prices is your downside risk, and you are then again you have to go for the prediction of that commodity's price also, that you have found out commodity B whose prices you are predicting to go up in future, and that commodity is negatively correlated, so you want to hedge price risk as falling prices is your downside risk, and the commodity which you have found, there are high chances that price of that commodity will increase in future, and that is negatively correlated, so yes, that commodity you can use for your hedge purpose. Understood?
मैम मुझे
यस मैम।
एडवांटेज समझ में नहीं आ रहा कि मतलब अगर अ, वो शुगर पे जा रहा है, फिर
hmm.
शुगर पे वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करेगा तो इसकी प्राइसेस कैसे बढ़ेंगी शुगर कैन की?
यहाँ हम वो थोड़ी ना पढ़ रहे कि प्राइसेस बढ़ेंगे कि नहीं है, ये तो हेजिंग पढ़ रहे हैं
तो
हम।
मैम वो हेजिंग, हाँ वही हेजिंग का पर्पस वही हुआ ना कि वो रिस्क कम करने के लिए कर रहा है।
Come in the sense, this is risk management, okay, and risk management is through fixing up the price, nothing other than that. तो आप शुगर के कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में एंटर करोगे तो एक प्राइस लॉक कर दोगे उसके स्पेसिफिकेशन के हिसाब से 800 पर क्विंटल।
यस मैम।
समझ में आ रहा है? तो लॉकिंग ऑफ द प्राइस, इट इज नथिंग एल्स, लॉकिंग ऑफ द प्राइस। Same way, if you check with sugarcane prices, it is 80 rupees per quintal. Okay, now what he is expecting, that prices would fall. So he is expecting that it could be 75, 78 something. Okay, but through sugar's contract, what he did, he locked the price of 800 per quintal. मीनिंग देयर बाय यहाँ पे क्या करेगा, ही वुड बी शॉर्ट ऑन शुगर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स, सो बिफोर एक्सपायरी और ऑन द डे ऑफ एक्सपायरी ही नीड टू स्क्वायर ऑफ एंड ही विल बी buying again, right? So and what we have expected, the prices would fall, so may it be 750 or something, so some uh, some amount you'll gain over here, 50 rupees per quintal you'll gain over here. Same way, this may have led to 75 rupees, and this you will sell at 75 rupees, okay, and accordingly you will have your sales proceed, but the remaining 5 rupees you can have from the gain of this contract. So that is the entire mechanism of this particular hedge. Okay, so if you are using the term where is the profit, no, it's not the motive actually. Motive is risk management in hedging, and that is locking in the price. Say suppose for an example you had predicted, but the prices have gone in different direction. This had become 880, and same way this had become 75 or something. Okay, if this has also been 82 and this 820, then here you would lose, because 8 at 820 you are required to purchase, and at 800 you will be selling, so 20 rupees you will lose, but here you are getting 2 rupees more, and this loss could be balanced through the profit of spot market transaction. Okay, but the worst scenario could be this has been 820 but this had been 78, so you are ultimately going to lose 2 rupees over here and 20 rupees over here, and in both the cases you are losing. Okay, but again you have locked in particular price, that is that particular level of price you will achieve. Okay, so main purpose over here is not to check for profit amount. I think for this entire chapter we discussed this only, na, that the motive is not profit, the motive is hedging. And hedging in layman terms, how we understand, locking in particular price, so that after certain months you will receive that amount, exactly that amount. One market's profit will get eroded by the loss of another market, or loss of one market could be balanced through the profit of other market. and balancing will be done, and exactly you will receive the amount which is the worth of the contract. So that is the purpose of hedging. हर्षिता क्लियर हुआ?
मैम मेरा पॉइंट ये है कि मतलब वो शुगर कैन डीलर है, मतलब वो
हम्म
क्रॉप्स बेचता होगा,
हम्म
क्रॉप सप्लाई करता होगा, राइट?
हम्म
तो वो शुगर में क्यों जा रहा है अभी?
because he is interested in fixing up the price, and he is bothered about falling price in future. So he is expecting that I won't be able to receive 80 rupees per quintal in future, but in future I will receive less, and he tried to
ओके, तो
search.
इनडायरेक्टली वो, हाँ, इनडायरेक्टली वो ट्राई कर रहा है कि अगर शुगर की प्राइस बनी रहेगी तो ही उसके क्रॉप की प्राइस बनी रहेगी।
नहीं, आप पॉइंट ही नहीं समझ रहे हो। पहले ये हो गया कि उनका एक्सपोजर शुगर केन में है, राइट? शुगर केन के प्राइसेस कम होने वाले हैं, राइट? अब उन्होंने
यस।
सबसे पहले तो क्या किया कि डेरिवेटिव एंटर करके मैं मेरा प्राइस रिस्क मैनेज कर सकता हूँ, मैं एक प्राइस लॉक कर सकता हूँ, ठीक है? तो उसके चलते उसने क्या किया, डेरिवेटिव एंटर करना है वो डिसीजन ले लिया। फिर उसने ट्राई की कि मैं सर्च करता हूँ, वो जब सर्च करने गया तो शुगर केन उसको मिला नहीं एज अ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट। फिर उसने क्या किया कि फॉलिंग प्राइस प्रेडिक्शन बहुत स्ट्रांग है, प्राइस कम होने ही वाले हैं, तो मुझे हेज करना ही है। Okay, so this is the scenario. Whatever you are thinking, it may also be right. Like as a trader, you may think that I don't want to be into this type of complex things, and let it be 78 or let it be 75. Uh, I'll have whatever is the price, or may it be 82 or 83. So certain traders may even go unhedged. They may think that no, I don't want to go much in complication. Like for sugarcane, why should I enter sugar's contract? Okay, so again, I think initially itself we talked about this. Like you need experience, you need expertise, you need knowledge. Then and then only you will be, deciding that I should enter a particular contract, and that is lacking, and that's why this MSMEs and small units are not using or not, getting benefit of this all products, right? So once you understood the complications, though you wanted to enter into a related assets contract, like um, you decided that I have enough knowledge, I have enough expertise, I have through that I have predicted the prices that sugar cane prices are going to be down in future. So if though sugar cane's contracts are not available, I'll go for imperfect hedge even, and I'll search for the commodity, like which is highly correlated, and you are successful in finding that commodity, that is sugar, and sugar contracts with matching quantity, with matching expiry. Okay, everything matching is available. So next level complication is not there. Like it may had happened that maybe asset is different, quantity is different, timing is different. That yesterday already I explained you that this much level of complications are there, then trader will think for twice. Okay, he'll think twice before entering into that contract, because it adds, every difference will add to a level of complication. But here no other complication is there, and trader can decide that let me enter sugar contract, and by that way at least lock, I can lock price of sugar, which is highly correlated with sugarcane prices. Okay, so I am right now short whose contract prices are going to be down in future, तो मैं short 800 पे हूँ और long में lower price पे लूंगी, ठीक है? तो मुझे differential amount I'll get as a profit. And same way in spot transaction, in sugarcane's transaction, I am going to lose. So whatever amount I am losing, I can recover through the contract's work. So this is my understanding when I enter contract. But actual what actual payoff I would have would be decided only in the month of April, at the end of the contract. Okay, once it expires. So at that time actual picture will be clear, that whether you are able to hedge, whether you had covered up your loss in spot market through derivative contract, or you led to loss in both the markets. So that will add to your experience that can I use this type of contracts in future or not. Okay, so it's not about profit or loss, it's about locking in price. क्लियर हुआ डाउट कि अभी भी कुछ है डाउट?
मैम
हाँ
मैम
बोलो।
मैम
मुझे भी
जितना समझ में आ रहा है मैम कि आप जैसे बोल रहे हो मैम, उसको एक्चुअली शुगर केन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में जाना था पर वो अनअवेलेबल था तो वो शुगर में गया, तो परफेक्टली कोरिलेटेड हुआ। मैम इन केस अगर शुगर का भी उसको नहीं मिलता और वो कोई और डेरिवेटिव में एंटर करता तो वो मैम इम्परफेक्ट होता ना, इम्परफेक्ट मतलब वो रिस्क को एलिमिनेट करने के लिए इम्परफेक्टली कोरिलेटेड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में जा रहा है।
ये भी तो इम्परफेक्ट ही है। शुगर केन
मैम
के
शुगर एंड शुगर
नहीं
हाँ
नहीं नहीं, ये इम्परफेक्ट का ही एग्जाम्पल है। परफेक्ट हेज पहले ही मैंने आपको समझा दिया कि ये जो तीन फैक्टर्स है वो प्रेजेंट नहीं होंगे। मिसमैच ऑफ असेट, मिसमैच ऑफ असेट एंड क्वालिटी इज नॉट देयर, मिसमैच ऑफ क्वांटिटी इज नॉट देयर, मिसमैच ऑफ एक्सपायरी इज नॉट देयर। तो ये सारी चीजें नहीं है, उसे ही हम परफेक्ट हेज बोलेंगे। सो वॉट एवर राइट नाउ वी आर डिस्कसिंग इज एन एग्जाम्पल ऑफ इम्परफेक्ट हेज। पहले ही वो तो
यस
इम्परफेक्ट
मैम।
है।
मैम पॉजिटिवली कोरिलेटेड बोलना चाह रही थी मैं कि ये दोनों पॉजिटिवली कोरिलेटेड है।
हम्म
अगर मैम ये नहीं होते और
हम्म
हम कोई अगर शुगर का भी अवेलेबल नहीं होता तो
हम्म।
वो मैम नेगेटिवली कोरिलेटेड होता, अगर वो इम्परफेक्टली हेजिंग में भी होता तो मैम।
वो तो मैंने पहले ही समझा दिया कि नेगेटिवली अगर कोरिलेटेड है तो आपको क्या देखना पड़ेगा कि मैं इसमें फॉलिंग प्राइस एक्सपेक्ट कर रही हूँ, तो नेगेटिवली कोरिलेटेड ऐसा असेट मुझे ढूंढना पड़ेगा जिसका स्ट्रॉन्ग प्रेडिक्शन हो प्राइस राइज। ठीक है, कि यहाँ पे आपका डाउनसाइड रिस्क क्या है, फॉलिंग प्राइसेस। Okay, so why I am taking positively correlated asset over here because I am expecting that sugar prices will also go down, right? But if it is inverse case, तो उसका prediction जैसे यहाँ पे highly correlated positive correlated का मतलब क्या है कि if sugar cane's prices are predicted to go below in future, same case is with sugar, that sugar prices are also expected to go down, right? But if you are saying that it is negatively correlated, then its prediction, strong prediction has to be there of price rise. Then and then only you can use for your hedge. Understood?
ओके मैम, हाँ मैम अब क्लियर हो गया।
हाँ, जब नेगेटिवली रिलेटेड होगा तो आपका प्रेडिक्शन भी उल्टा होना चाहिए कि उसका प्रेडिक्शन होना चाहिए प्राइस राइज, तो ही आप उसमें एंटर कर सकते हो। बट अगेन ऑल दिस केसेस आर ऑफ इम्परफेक्ट हेज। ठीक है,
यस मैम।
मेरा डाउट ये था कि अगर वो शुगर में एंटर कर रहा है लेकिन वो प्रोड्यूस कर रहा है शुगर कैन, राइट? तो फिर जब उनको डिलीवरी देने के टाइम आएगा तो वो कैसे मतलब डील करेंगे सामने वाले से,
वो तो पहले ही
क्योंकि वो
स्क्वायर ऑफ नहीं नहीं, वो तो हमने इनिशियली भी डिस्कस किया था ना कि मेजॉरिटी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स आर स्क्वायर्ड ऑफ क्लोज, मतलब 2 या 3% ही होते हैं जो डिलीवरेबल होते हैं, बाकी के 97%
ओके
कॉन्ट्रैक्ट स्क्वायर ऑफ ही होते हैं यूजुअल केसेस में भी। if it is perfect hedge,
ओके
then also 96 to 97% of the contracts are squared off due to this limitations, delivery location and all kind of limitations. So that is not the hindering factor in this case, because even perfect hedge commodities are not deliverable. Okay, 97% of the contracts are squared off. That's why I explained na that you are selling at 800 and say suppose price is 780 on the day of expiry. So you will take short 800, you will take long 780, and by that way you will have profit of 20 rupees. Okay, and here it may be case that 78 rupees may be in the spot market. So you will be able to sell at only 78 rupees, but you expected it to be 80. So here 2 rupees loss, that loss could be recovered by this transaction, the derivative transaction, that here you had
तो
profit
मैम
of 20
वो
rupees.
तो
बोलो।
मैम उनको स्पॉट में सेल तो करना होगा ना वो चीज।
हाँ, तो वही तो मैं समझा रही हूँ कि एक्चुअल प्राइस वुड बी, अगर ये 780 हुआ तो ये 78 हो जाएगा, तो मतलब 78 पे सेल करके यहाँ ही इज लूजिंग 2 रुपीज। सेम वे यहाँ 800 पे शॉर्ट लिया था, 780 पे वो लॉन्ग लेगा, यानी 20 रुपए का प्रॉफिट हुआ। ओके, एंड दिस इज द डिफरेंस इन क्वांटिटीज, राइट। ठीक है, तो उस हिसाब से ही फिर वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एंटर करेगा। जैसे यहाँ पे 20 आ रहा है ना आंसर, और ये क्वांटिटी कम है, तो 2 ही कॉन्ट्रैक्ट लेगा, ऐसा होगा। यानी यहाँ 20 रुपये नहीं, अल्टीमेटली यहाँ पे भी 2 रुपये ही, वो हम कैलकुलेशन में सीखेंगे कि 2 रुपये ही प्रॉफिट होगा। क्यों? क्योंकि ये क्वांटिटी और ये क्वांटिटी में बहुत डिफरेंस है। ठीक है, तो अकॉर्डिंगली ही वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट लेगा। यानी यहाँ का 2 रुपीज लॉस कुड बी रिकवर्ड थ्रू द प्रॉफिट ऑफ 2 रुपीज अंडर डेरिवेटिव मार्केट, and ultimately he is whatever price he has blocked, that is of 80 rupees he will receive. ठीक है, प्रैक्टिस करो थोड़ा, मतलब
ओके
एकदम
मैम।
ब्लैंक ही लगते हो हर क्लास में। जो ऑलरेडी एक्सप्लेन कर दिए वैसे डाउट्स भी आप बार बार पूछते हो, दैट व्हाट इट प्रूव्स दैट यू आर नॉट रिवाइजिंग। Okay, so the case is, first you are required to find out number of contracts to be entered to hedge the position. Okay, so what is your hedging strategy? Futures contract in sugarcane are not available, hence the trader has to hedge his position by using a cross hedge that I already explained. He can hedge by taking an opposite position in futures, right? ये थोड़ा कंफ्यूज करेगा, बट यू कैन सिंप्लीफाई इट दैट यू आर शॉर्ट ऑन असेट एंड दैट्स व्हाई यू आर टेकिंग शॉर्ट पोजीशन इन फ्यूचर्स। ये क्या एक्सप्लेन कर रहा है कि यू आर लॉन्ग ऑन द असेट, इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट। यू हैव प्रोड्यूस समथिंग and you are going to sell it, so you are short on asset and that's why you have to take short position in futures. ठीक है, क्योंकि ये आपको फिर वापस कंफ्यूज करेगा कि you'll take opposite position in futures or something. उसका मोटिव क्या है? सेल करने का। सो सेल, इफ यू वांट टू सेल एंड फॉर सेलिंग पर्पस यू वांट टू लॉक इन सर्टेन प्राइस, he has to take short on futures. So what is the strategy? He will be taking short in futures but through cross hedge, meaning thereby if sugarcane contracts are not available, he will be entering into contract of sugar, that is cross hedge. Therefore the trader sells the 3-month futures contract on sugar now and will buy the same contract back after 3 months. This already explained, that is closing your contract or squaring off. Okay, just prior to maturity. The number of contracts to be traded will depend upon the hedge ratio or the sensitivity of the prices of the asset to be hedged to the prices of the futures contract. Okay, this is the formula which I explained, like this one, NH divided by NA. Okay, so value to be hedged. What is the value to be hedged? 200 metric ton he is going to have as a produce, and 80 per quintal. Okay, he is expecting right now the spot price, so by that way it will be 800 per metric ton. So 200 into 800 divided by value of future contract. So what is the worth of future contract? Per contract worth you are required to take. Value of future contract, it will be per contract. Okay, so one contract's worth is 10 metric ton and per metric ton price is given as 8,000. So that is 10 into 8,000 will give you number of contracts to be entered. Okay, so if he would enter into 20 contracts, he would be leading to like 2,000 metric tons, which is not his requirement. Due to this price differentials, there would be, uh, he'll be hedging for more quantity than required. So how you can find out number of contracts for due to this like mismatch of pricing or something? Through this formula, that what is the value to be hedged and what is the worth of one contract will give you contract size. कैलकुलेशन में नहीं समझ में आया हो तो पूछो। हेलो। अब डाउट्स होने चाहिए ना आप लोगों को।
मैम इसमें मतलब ऐसा हुआ ना कि जैसे हम 200 मेट्रिक टन ले रहे थे एट 80 पर क्विंटल,
हम्म।
तो 160 के अंदर हम 200 मेट्रिक टन खरीद रहे थे। अब सेम 160 के अंदर ही हम अगर 800 पर क्विंटल पे खरीदते तो हम 2 कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ही कर पाएंगे, मतलब हम 20 MT ही खरीद पाएंगे उस प्राइस में।
नहीं नहीं, इसका मतलब ये है। हेलो।
हाँ मैम।
हम्म, इसका मतलब ये है कि आप क्रॉस हेज में जा रहे हो ना, तो यू आर रिक्वायर्ड टू फाइंड आउट नंबर ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट। सो व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू एक्सप्लेन इज दैट here sugar prices are, एक मिनट, price, due to price difference you are required to find out number of contracts. Like initially what I explained you, that 200 metric ton divided by 10 metric ton will give you number of contracts. तो वो आंसर क्या आया? 20 metric ton,
20,
right?
हाँ।
Yes.
यस
But
मैम।
वो 20 metric ton कब? जब आपका एक्सपोजर भी शुगर केन में है और आपके कॉन्ट्रैक्ट भी शुगर केन में है. Why? Because the price would be similar. Now you can see the price differential, है ना? Sugar cane is at 80 per quintal and sugar is at 800 per quintal. Okay, so you have to calculate it in monetary terms and not simply you can divide. It had been a perfect hedge, you must have divided 200 metric ton by 10 metric ton, or you can say that like in the initial examples even we did this na, like gold prices were into 10 grams and contract was of 100 grams, and due to that you were required to find out the multiple and that multiple was 10. So that this is something like that your contract specification, like contract price is something else and your contract worth is for something else. So due to this price differential you are required to apply this formula, because sugar cane's price is 80 per quintal and sugar price is 800 per quintal. So again this is like 10 multiple would be there, है ना? It is
यस
10
मैम, 10
times
टाइम्स।
high.
यस।
And that's why that way even you can understand that simply answer is 20 metric ton, but the contract commodity contract for which you are commodity for which you are entering into contract is priced above than the commodity which you are exposed to, right? And that's why it has to be divided by 10. So 20 divided by 10 also will give you the same answer. So this calculation is required. Why? Because the amount which you are exposed to is different than the worth of your contract, one contract. That's why you are required to go for this calculation. Understood?
यस मैम।
यस मैम।
किसी और को कुछ डाउट है इसमें? Why not 20 contracts and only 2 contracts? है कोई डाउट?
मैम हम ये कैलकुलेशन तभी करेंगे ना जब प्राइस डिफरेंट होगी।
हाँ, मतलब प्राइस डिफरेंट हो नहीं हो आप ये कैलकुलेट करके ही सी, अगर प्राइस डिफरेंट नहीं होती तो आप नॉर्मल कैलकुलेशन करते तो भी 220 आता, ये कैलकुलेशन करते तो भी 20 आता, but to standardize it you can take this as formula and every time you will calculate like this only, that quantity into price. Okay, numerator will be the amount which is required to be hedged, meaning thereby quantity into price divided by worth of one contract, right? So in any case if you want to find out number of contracts you have to divide the worth of entire exposure by one contract's value. ये तो हमेशा से ही कर रहे हो ना आप? जैसे 10,000 का मेरा एक्सपोजर है और 1,000 मेरे एक कॉन्ट्रैक्ट का वर्थ है, तो 10,000 डिवाइडेड बाय 1,000 करूंगी तो ही मुझे नंबर ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स पता चलेंगे. आया समझ में?
हाँ मैम।
तो ये फॉर्मूला तो अप्लाई
हाँ
करना ही
मैम।
करना है। हाँ, तो ये फॉर्मूला तो आपको अप्लाई करना ही करना है। ये तो क्वेश्चन था कि लाइक व्हाई वी डिड दिस एंड दैट्स व्हाई आई एक्सप्लेन यू, कि डायरेक्टली करोगे तो प्राइस डिफरेंशियल की वजह से गलत आंसर आ जाएगा। सो दैट वाज जस्ट द एक्सप्लेनेशन, बट दिस फॉर्मूला हैज टू बी अप्लाइड। दैट न्यूमरेटर वुड बी द एंटायर अमाउंट टू बी hedged divided by worth of one contract, and by that way you will have number of contracts to be entered. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, as already discussed that like whether you had a profit in one market or loss in one, that is futures market, and profit or loss in spot market, that exact figure you can know at the end of the contract, that is expiry. So next calculation is about percentage change in prices, and this is just assumption. Okay, percentage change in price at the time of expiry. So say suppose on expiry prices has rise by 10 percentage or fall by 10 percentage. Our expectation was price fall, and that was our downside risk. But prediction may even go wrong. So if our prediction had been right, price may have been decreased. So this is one scenario that price has fallen by 10 percentage. But yes, our prediction can even go wrong, and we have to check with the other scenario as well. So prices may even rise. So the other scenario assumed as 10 percentage rise. Okay. So side by side you are required to calculate that how you got this amount. तो पहले प्राइजेस लिख दो दोनों की, कि स्पॉट मार्केट ट्रांजैक्शन में क्या प्राइस होगी और डेरिवेटिव में क्या प्राइस होगी. राइट इट डाउन फर्स्ट. एट विच प्राइस यू एंटर्ड द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, मतलब शॉर्ट आपने कितने पे लिया?
800 मेट्रिक टन।
800.
तो शॉर्ट के लिए
तो
लिख दो
शॉर्ट के लिए
800.
लिख दो.
ठीक है. नाउ इफ प्राइस राइज बाय 10 परसेंटेज तो वो क्या हो जाएगा एक्सपायरी पे? 800
880.
880. तो वो प्राइस राइज वाले सिनारियो में लिख दो 880, और प्राइस फॉल हुआ तो क्या हो जाएगा?
720.
720. ओके. अब ये जो फिगर्स हम बोल रहे हैं उसमें किसी को भी डाउट हो तो आप पूछ सकते हो, लाइक अदर देन 4-5 स्टूडेंट नोबडी एल्स इज आस्किंग डाउट. तो व्हाट आई शुड अज्यूम, दैट एवरीथिंग इज क्लियर और एवरीथिंग इज अनक्लियर? हाँ, नॉट एट ऑल क्लियर, ऐसा है क्या? बाकी के लोग तो कुछ डाउट ही नहीं पूछ रहे हैं.
मैम ये 16,000 प्रॉफिट कहाँ से आया?
रुको पहले ये समझ लेते, किसी को कुछ डाउट नहीं है तो फिर मैं आगे बढ़ती हूँ.
मैम ये अज्यूम की हुई अमाउंट हम कोई भी ले सकते हैं ना?
हाँ, कोई भी, मतलब एग्जाम में या तो दी
ओके
होगी और नहीं दी है तो फिर आप खुद ही की, मतलब जैसे आपको स्ट्रेटेजी फ्रेम करने के लिए बोलेंगे कि क्रॉस एक स्ट्रेटेजी फ्रेम करके हाउ यू कैन मैनेज योर रिस्क, तो फिर आप ये कैलकुलेशन करके ये वाले सिनारियो खुद से ले सकते हो. बट मेजोरिटी ऑफ द टाइम्स इट विल बी प्रोवाइडेड इन एग्जाम. दैट्स assume 10
ओके
percentage rise, assume 10 percentage fall. ठीक है.
ओके मैम, तो वो जो सबसे पहले हम जिस पे शॉर्ट ले रहे हैं उसका ही 10% होगा, राइट?
हाँ, आपका स्पेसिफिकेशन जो है वो.
मतलब 800 का हम लोग 10% इंक्रीज और डिक्रीज करेंगे.
Yes.
ओके
That is regarding spot transaction. What we did? See, उसमें भी आपको ध्यान रखना है, जैसे 80 पर क्विंटल लिखा है बट अवर कैलकुलेशन इज मेट्रिक टन, so this has to be considered as 800 and this has to be considered as 8000. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
in both cases you are required to find out the 10 percentage rise or 10 percentage fall. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. यहाँ पे कैलकुलेशन का कुछ गड़बड़ है बट मैं वो बाद में बताती हूँ, पहले लेट्स do this calculation. So here it will be initially it is 800, so after 10 percentage rise it will be 880 and after 10 percentage fall it will be 720. So first we discuss this. ठीक है, ये समझ में आया?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now next same calculation you can do for this also, that 8000. If it is 8000 then after 10 percentage rise it will be 8800. Okay, and after 10 percentage fall it will be 7200. ये समझ में आया?
Yes, ma'am.
तो ये भी साइड
Yes,
बाय
ma'am.
साइड
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now I think this will maybe easy. Value of futures contract sold, because how many contract you entered into? Two, right? And the short position you took at 8000. Why? Because it is per quintal, but the contract size is into metric ton. So 1 metric ton is 8000 and one contract is worth of 10 metric ton. So it will be 8000 into 10, 80,000. This calculation, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Price quotation is per quintal, that is 800 rupees, but you have to convert it into metric ton. Why? Because contract size is into metric ton. So you converted this and that's why you had this quotation, that is 8000. Now this 8000 is for 1 metric ton, but your contract size, one contract worth is 10 metric ton. So you have to first apply this. This will give you one contract worth of one contract. So one contract's worth is 80,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Okay.
rupees 80,000, no?
Yes, rupees 80,000.
Yes, ma'am. 80,000.
And you are entering into two contracts. So how much ultimately the worth of entire transaction will be?
1 lakh 60.
Okay, तो यहाँ लिख
1
दो.
lakh 60.
Yes, 10 into 8000 into 2. वैल्यू ऑफ फ्यूचर्स कॉन्ट्रैक्ट सोल्ड के बाजू में लिख दो 10 into 8000 into 2.
Contract.
ठीक है, so this is 1,60,000. Now same calculation you will be doing for 10 percentage rise, that is 8800. So tell me 10 into 8800 into 2 कितना आएगा?
1,76,000.
1,70,000.
अच्छा, यानी
1
बराबर
lakh
ही है.
70.
ठीक है, हाँ, तो ये अमाउंट बराबर है ना. ठीक है. Now how come 16,000? At the time of entering into contract, means in January to April. Okay, 3 months बोला है ना, तो February. So in February you took short position, right? So you took short position and you were sure of receiving 1,60,000 rupees by entering into a contract. So in February you are entering into a contract, you are taking short position, and by that way you are receiving 1,60,000 rupees. Now in April, what you did in April, you have to square off it, and that's why you are required to take long position. So you have to take long position at 8,800 and not 8,000, and that's why you are required to pay 1,76,000. So initially by entering into a short position, you had been sure of receiving 1,60,000 rupees, which you received during April, right? And for squaring off you took long position, and for taking long position you were required to pay 1,76,000. So in short, you paid 1,76,000 rupees and you received 1,60,000 rupees. So there had been loss of 16,000 rupees. So the amount which you are required to pay is higher than the amount which you are going to receive. So in this transaction, in squaring off, what you will be doing, you will be paying 16,000 rupees in April, who is taking uh, short position in this long position case. But we are not going much in detail. But have you understood how come this is negative 16,000?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, any doubt? ओके सो आई थिंक इट्स क्लियर कि शॉर्ट पोजीशन कम में लिया, लॉन्ग पोजीशन ज्यादा में लिया. सेम वे आप यहाँ पे भी कैलकुलेशंस कर सकते हो, लाइक 10 इंटू, आप कर लेना, अभी लिखते जाओ, कर लेना, मैं पूरा
मैम इन शॉर्ट ऐसा ही हुआ ना कि हमने अप्रैल में 1,60,000 में सोल्ड किया और 3 months बाद 1,76,000 में वापस परचेज किया.
परचेज किया स्क्वायर ऑफ करने के लिए.
ओके.
For this calculation write down 10 into 70,200 into 2, क्योंकि ये 70,200 हो गया, ठीक है. सो 10 into 70,200 into 2, so it will be 1,44,000. So you sold at 1,60,000 but you bought at 1,44,000, यानी पे कम किया, रिसीव ज्यादा किया, that's why profit of 16,000. So this is upper part of the table is about your derivative contract, your futures जो hedging के लिए किया था. ठीक है, यहाँ तो आपने स्क्वायर ऑफ कर दिया कि मैंने पहले शॉर्ट लिया फिर लॉन्ग ले लिया, एंड according to the scenario I may be at loss, I may be at profit in derivative. So this is entirely about your contract, entirely about your derivative. But actual जो भी होगा, जैसे you